be playing it. What do you make of the Morphling 10th pick?
Well, I mean, Yuma on Morphling, he's level 30 Morphling, he's a spammer, and he had the ultimate last pick, and he says, you know what, Morph here, it works just fine. So I'm gonna trust him in his decision then that this is a nice game to bust it out. Like God said, the draft looks really nice for Dog overall. It's well-rounded, it has a lot of different elements to it, but the one thing that they have as a weakness, I suppose, is that they don't have the biggest push. Their tower damage is not the highest, but Morph can push pretty fast later on.
Oh, that was a bit awkward right there. They were running right back. How about the patience by Italiano Gangster there, sitting in the trees as they all run by. Of course, he didn't necessarily see them either, so just happens to be really patient.
Yeah.
And now he's going to poke on out, so we'll see if any brawling happens.
Now they've been spotted, though. The Rubik is in danger here. If he missteps, he's going to go down. They don't have any vision, and they want to try and take the top rune here. So Rubik is... Oh, he's in so much danger right now.
Yeah, Arctic Burn's coming up in a couple of seconds. I'm guessing once that's ready, yeah, it's going to be ready to be used right here. So out comes the horn. The rune's going to be spawning in a second right now. And there we go. It is a trap indeed. And it's a true trap with the ice shards being used. There's no chance for Rubik to get out of that. So Giant, the stand-in going down. Fart SJ, credit for the first blood.
Yeah, gonna be a good start for him. Bottom lane, Monkey's being run at by Bloody Nine on his Dawnbreaker here. The support Dawn just chasing him. Dawn Morphling, probably a fairly strong lane in the level 1 to level 3 stage. And Monkeys is a little bit left alone here as Newsham has to run all the way bottom. Of course, did take part in that first blood, but that means the first creep wave, which can be so important, is a little bit harder here.
Yeah, no doubt Monkeys, especially early on, as you're pointing out, it's going to be heavily relying on Newsham to be that support, bring the harassment, and Bloody Nine's like, all right, let's brawl. This is obviously a support in Dawnbreaker that certainly is not afraid to fight, especially when that Starbreaker ability is ready. So expecting a lot of damage to go back and forth at that bottom lane.
Yeah, this is a lane where the Hoodwink can do a lot of right clicks though. Dawnbreaker is just going to be taking all those Blightstone auto attacks, and they can really add up after a while as they start to hurt. Meanwhile, looking at the other lanes as well, we got that mid matchup of Tusk versus Pango. Tusk is a hero that doesn't really lose to a lot of things mid. I don't think he's like the biggest punishment ever against a Pango. I don't think it's like Ember, who really can put the hurt on to Pango with the Sleight of Fist spam. But he should probably have like a 60-40 edge, I would say, in this matchup.
All right, so I Annihilate. We're going to see how he does. And right now, 8-2 versus the 4-0 Pango. So very early on, but certainly having the better of that start as they continue to use the abilities to assist in that last city. But Bloodseeker, oh, that's a kill on Yuma. Going down.
Oh, wow.
Watching him adapt, shifting right there, and got caught with a little too much agility.
I mean, it's the level 30 player versus the level 30 player. You got a 30 Morph and a 30 Brood, but I guess we just saw already on level 2 here a kill that really would not be expected. This is not what I would have thought would happen. They come back to the lane though, come back swinging.
This is the plan, Waga, to kind of give them a false sense of hope and then go back in, but they don't actually get the kill, so never mind. If that was the plan, it fails big time because Monkeys, he is going to survive and be just fine. So yeah, certainly a kill you would absolutely not expect happening on a Yuma right there, but
yeah,
what's done is done. So it looks like the feed, unfortunately. We're going to do a radio broadcast for the time being, Waga.
Yeah. Just looking at the fights on bottom, we still just have some trades going on there. No kill happening yet. As overall, oh, there we go. We're back in the game. Lovely.
Oh, thank God. It's a little bit harder to do the radio broadcast for a game like Dota, and it's for traditional sports, I suppose. But back in, that's good. But yeah, so Bloodseeker, though, again, so let's talk about that for a little bit, because I feel like you brought up this opinion yesterday when we saw it in the matchup against DogChamp as well, and throughout this tournament, it feels like a hero that, yes, he can have a great laning phase, do very well, he's a quote-unquote counter to the Pango, but his impact seems to kind of drop off. It just feels like it drops off into that mid-game state a lot of these.
It's hard. You really need to know how to, transition into mid-game and know your timing super well on Bloodseeker to get the most out of him. And I think a lot of teams have struggled that they get a lot of farm, but maybe they miss this timing where you're supposed to be dominating, and then they go too late, where Bloodseeker is not really like a super hard carry either. But usually laning stage goes really well, so he is topping the CS charts right now. We'll see how the mid game is going to work out for him, though.
Yeah. So yeah, having that great laning phase, and speaking of that, so is Tusk in the mid lane. We talked about it, although Pango's certainly caught up. It's keeping it pretty close, but Tusk is topping this CS amongst everyone as they're both going to get their own runes. That's 4-minute spawn. So looking to that 5 to 6 minute mark is when we usually have a lot of these rotations start kicking in and potential kills happening around that mid lane. So Hoodwink going to pick up a bounty rune and then head back bottom for now. But next minute or so, expecting that movement to start taking place.
Yeah, probably. It's, you know, for now they can keep playing on their lanes, but the power runes are really the timing that you want to start moving around on. And overall, while Bloodseeker is leading the CS chart, the Centaur is doing a good job keeping the lane really far back and just being in a good spot.
A good combo there, but that's also a good protection coming out from Jenkins.
Morphling dies to that catch by the Bushwhack. That's a second death on a level 30 last pick Morphling. I mean, he was confident going into this matchup, but he's getting punished. He didn't have time to morph up enough, and just a Bushwhack catching him off guard.
Yeah, he wasn't all the way agility by any means. In fact, Dawnbreaker having a fight, and it's not going to fight well. So we knew that they were going to be trading blows down here. I can't say I expected it to go this well in favor of Fart Studios, as they already have a 4-0 lead and 2 deaths on Morphling. Morphling usually one of these laning heroes, especially that doesn't die.
I told you, man, it's Monkey's Brood. Monkey's Brood. I talked to him before this match. I told him that I need you to pull out your best A game here. I want to see some disgusting draft, and yep, they delivered. It's the Brood.
So he put the banana suit on, and he got all the extra powers that he needed.
That's true. And again, they're gonna get a kill here, bottom. As I think Dawnbreaker's just caught off. Maybe she's gonna be fine. Yeah, I spoke too soon. She's gonna be fine and get to a tree line, but are you really fine? You're down to 100 HP. You're against a Bloodseeker. Now you're buffing the other lane, because that's the big thing as well. If you're starting to lose your lane like this, then you might get punished by Nusham.
Yeah, he's going in. Behind the tower. A couple more auto attacks. One more should do it. And Monkey's even running in the other direction. So Nusham getting credit for the kill. And Yuma, all he could do is just stand there. I mean, Aftershock was just coming off cooldown. Nothing he could do more. In fact, they're going to just dive the Morphling now. Insatiable Hunger will be popped. And they're going to force a lot of regen, if anything. Not going to get a kill this time. But yeah, Yuma's continuing to feel the hurt.
Yeah, this lane is starting to look officially like unplayable for the Morphling. When the mana boots came in, that changed everything. Now they just have mana to keep spamming their spells non-stop. So all the time they're gonna go soon again on him, I think. If he comes up for this range creep, they're gonna nuke him again.
Dawn's not even heading bottom at this point. She's actually walking to the top lane. TP's coming off cooldown in about 3 seconds. But speaking of the top lane, Fart SJ getting pretty low. Puts down the Blood Right, and that with the Splinter Blast. But Zentar, he doesn't care. He's got a full Vanguard. He's hard to do damage to right now. So, but yeah, Dawnbreaker making her way all the way to the top lane. Meanwhile, mid lane, Nusham setting up.
Yeah, now he can start leaving the Broodmother. And top, they're looking for that dive. Trying to get the lift.
They want it.
Can't reach.
He's tanking the tower. Of course, he can do that. Retaliate's also online, and there's the combo once again. That hoof stomp. We've seen it. I mean, hoof stomp's not the easiest to land sometimes, but when you have a great setup like that, it's pretty damn easy.
Yeah, mid. We see the roll coming out from RCY, trying for a solo kill.
Gonna roll in circles now. TP coming in from Rubik, but Nusham shows up and can trade some damage right there. Ooh, Swashbuckle whiffing. I Annihilate, they're pinging out. They want to maybe make a play right here. He's going to get some mangoes delivered. So he's got many to work with. Goes in the Ice Shards. They want the Pango. They don't want Rubik, but Tusk needs to be careful not to die himself in the meantime. Double the Swashbuckle hit, but I know they barely surviving. Down goes Rubik. Ah, that was a close call.
Yeah.
Going the way of our studios, though.
Gonna be a rune top here for the Pango. Gets an Arcane rune. Fantastic drop for him. Tusk wanting to fight, but has to be careful about that Swashbuckle.
Yeah, now they're retreating.
So they put Morphling mid now. This is a shift where they're trying to create some safe space for him to farm, and then they're going to use Pango to try and defend against the bottom push on Brood. That is something that Pango is really good at. Just swashbuckling immediately kills those spiders.
So, RCY, though, well, he's good against killing those spiders, but he needs to be worried about surviving right now. And it's apparently not easy. And in fact, it's impossible. He just gets taken out as Breeder Mother dives him, and now Bloody Nine's in trouble. Does not have any cooldowns ready for the next 5 seconds. Monkey's just running her down. Has spawned spiderlings. Couple more auto attacks. Double kill for monkeys. The brood monkeys. Monkeys brood. It intertwines. It's the same either way.
The slurp voice line spam, yeah. I've seen this so many times. I've seen him do it. It looks so easy, even against the Pangolier, who's honestly quite good against Brood, and the fact that you can immediately kill the entire army, and he did. But it doesn't matter. The mana boots, the spam of the nukes, and the insatiable hunger to dive under tower, he just kills the Pango, and Pango completely underestimated Brood.
I'm trying to think. Who did they ban? They banned the Trian, didn't they? That was the ban that they banned instead of Broodmother.
Yeah, that was their second ban on DogChamp.
Yeah. So again, I don't want to like start overanalyzing that by any means, but just a kind of a reminder right there. Obviously, yeah, Trian certainly has his own powers and great hero himself, but yeah, Monkey's Brood. It's we saw the Monkey's Brewmaster the other day, but his Brood also pretty damn good.
Yeah, he plays BM and BM. That's his specialty. And now he's just making a move, not sticking around bottom, going towards mid.
Oh, and there is the Rupture. RCY, he just needs to stand still for the time being. Broodmother, though, did he go too far? No, he's got a mech. He's just fine. Spawn Spartaning will finish off Dawnbreaker. Yuma, using that adapt to strike to push back in that full strength, so he is tanky, but they still want to go for it. Snowball in, Rubik's picked off in the meantime, and Bloodseeker joins now to Morphling. Morphling's dead. They're just running at DogChamp, and DogChamp does not have the tools right now to defend themselves.
11-1, 10 minutes into the game. Fart Studios showing up big time here. Just absolutely manhandling DogChamp so far. I mean, they have Italiano Gangsta just standing top and farming on a Centaur, but his entire team is crumbling right now.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
I mean, DogChamp, may I remind everyone, I mean, this is an undefeated team. They have not dropped a single map so far in Division 2 going into this final series. Yes, they have rank 1 secured, but you still figure you don't want to give a good effort here against Fart Studios. But this feels to me this is more Fart Studios, specifically Monkeys, but as a team, they're just playing that much better.
Yeah, so much of this comes back to that bottom lane could not be played. Morphling had to, seek refuge on the mid lane early. He had to move. That forced Pango to go bottom, and then Pango dies bottom. So much is coming back to this Brood. Like, honestly, I would attribute, most of how the game is going to Monkeys Forever and the impact that he's bringing here. And this is them with a stand-in, right? Playing not with the initial Fart Studios team, but I would say they're way stronger with him in the team.
Worth pointing out that DogChamp has Italiano Gangster going down right there. The Tusk Coda Wing combo coming together. They are also playing a stand-in as well. So Giant, of course, playing that Rubik, but still, RCY. Rolling Thunder connects on a Tusk. Tusk, Snowball, going to be on the Morphling, and I think he's going to be in trouble here. Yes, pretty committed at this point. Hoodwink doing what he can, but not much more to use, and they will eventually kill the Tusk. So they get their second kill at least, and slight bounty for RCY going his way. But again, big picture, 3 of the top 4 net worth in the game all belong on the dire side. Centaur is the only one that's doing, pretty good on the side of DogChamp, and he's coming off a death. He's still trying to finish that blink, but certainly not in that they look forward to having.
Yeah, when he has his blink, they can start looking for him to initiate stuff and follow up with the Dawnbreaker ulti and play around that and generate some space for the Morphling to recover and farm, because that's really what he needs to do. Right now, he is only 300 gold ahead of the Hoodwink. This Hoodwink of Newsham is so damn rich this game.
Yeah. And we've seen these wealthy Hoodwinks and what they can do in this tournament, let alone just overall right now in the current patch. It is deadly, and he's going to be going to the bottom lane to address this very well farmed Centaur. There's the initiation, and the follow-up from Tusk is there with the Walrus Punch. However, he's going to be fine, Stampede, but no, now he's ruptured, and all of a sudden it's pretty awkward for Italiano Gangster. He is going to die to the Blood Right. Bloody Nine trying to stand strong, can only stand strong for so long, especially with the Broodmother showing up. And, that was the other thing with the Centaur pick. It's like, again, overall, I understand, but the Bloodseeker pretty good against Centaur as well for that right there.
Yeah, definitely is. Bottom, they're diving behind the tier 2 tower, gonna find Giants as well. and bring him down quickly. That opens up this tier 2 tower to be taken, perhaps. Glyph is gonna get used, but yeah, this is just all falling apart. And like you said, Stampede doesn't really save you from Rupture. It's not gonna allow you to escape. That's why I said it was more for initiation this game. Great stomp though.
But he's too tanky. Like, the idea is right in the sense of like, okay, this kind of makes sense, but man, these guys are just so much more farmed than the side of DogChamp. They turn on his Centaur. Look at his Tusk. He has so much life, apparently, and more so it's just the lacking damage on DogChamp's side. I mean, you have a mid-Pango that has a Blightstone and Arcane Boots. Like, you can't expect a lot of DPS to be coming out from that at 14 minutes into the game right now.
Yeah, this tempo is very, very high. The early Greaves makes very difficult to fight into as well. The Broodmother lane, they're trying to contest it. They're going there. There are two approaches, right? You play against Brood. You can either go there and try and fight it, or you stick your head in the sand and pretend she doesn't exist for a while. Honestly, I don't think they benefit from fighting down here.
Yeah. Rotation coming in the mid lane. Meanwhile, Annihilate, he's busy getting the kill himself onto the Rubik. So this is insane. I mean, 18-2 stat line. You're looking at a team like you're like, oh, so DogChamp's winning. No, Fart Studios is winning 18-2 right now in hero kills, and it's just gonna get even better perhaps. Pango trying to get away. Annihilate throwing out his combo, just
solo
they're
killed.
not lacking damage on the dire side. Yeah, he literally just solo killed the mid hero on the other side.
Yeah, RCY has no game here, even though he is, you know, with a lot of CS, a lot of those are just spiraling CS as well. His net worth is the lowest out of the 6 cores right now, something we very rarely get to see. RCY, we've hyped him up a lot as the, you know, standout player of Div 2 here in NA, but having an awful time, and all the Fart Studios are just, you know, doing what they're supposed to do, and they have 4 kill streaks going on right now in their team as well. Damn.
Yeah, it's getting to one of those cases, Walker, where it's like, what else can we hype up about Fart Studio? Like, everything is just going so perfect for them in this game right now. It just, you know, but we're reiterating it for a reason, because of just how impressive this continues to be. But again, what's the comeback mechanic now for DogChamp? Obviously, we are still fairly earlier on, 16 minutes in. We are going to see RCY jumping in here with the Rolling Thunder. Meanwhile, Centaur going on the Wyvern, but Curse going to be using. There's that combo you mentioned. Somewhat of a counter to the Dawnbreaker. She comes in with a Solar Guardian, but the Curse going to lock her in place. And off to the left, there's going to be a kill happening on the Centaur. Tusk will die because he dives so much, but now Fart SJ, he's trying to clean up on the Morphling. Morphling TP out though, so manages to survive, and the rest will get away. But they kill the Tusk, but they lose too, and this mid tower is looking juicy now for Fart Studios.
Yeah, I don't think they can really push into it just because of Swashbuckle being so good defensively, but even though that was a fight that started out well for them, you could see the turnaround there, and why I said that the Winter's Curse is so nice. It just gives you that sort of guaranteed that you're gonna get 2 heroes at least. Giant with the insatiable hunger on Rubik. The right clicks. So powerful.
Yeah. It's interesting that a hero, obviously, I was going to say he has Guardian Greaves and how much damage he can do, but he does have that Orchid now on Broodmother, and really going this solo kill.
That's so fast. It's so rapid timing. He almost breaches the 5-digit net worth here at 17 minutes into the game. That is well ahead of the expected curve. So he's going to build into the Aghanim Scepter as well, which is a very oppressive item. Ooh, top Giant actually is fine. Wow, I thought they would get Vision in there as the Hoodwink ran by, and he just runs by, ships into the... Oh my god, he Fade Bolts, and I think Fart Studios are like, what? What do you mean he Fade Bolts? We just ran there. They patrolled the area.
Like, maybe there's a lot more nearby. Let's just play it safe. Obviously, if you're Fart Studios, you don't need to overstep right now. You have a very comfortable lead, but yeah, manages to escape what seemed to be certain death does Rubik, but he's doing his best to pick up any kind of farm he can get, obviously, as it's really kind of the trend for this Radiant side. They're struggling. I mean, how is Morphling looking? He's got a Yasha, an Ultimate Orb, so he's trying to build that Eye of Scotty next, and, you know, Yuma's attempting to make that progress, and obviously that's all you can ask for. It goes back to, like, that's kind of the comeback mechanic for DogChamp right here. They do scale pretty well eventually. It's about not letting this get even more out of control.
Yeah, he needs to eventually get huge on the Morphling. There are a lot of items that they need, though, so gonna have to wait quite a while. Nice ward here by Fart Studios. Gonna play under it.
Fart Studios knows that they want to delay this game, and they're going to go in. Curse on a Morphling. Nusham lining up the sharpshooter. Hits. Breaks applied, but in the end, not really the most follow-up damage. Centaur gets a nice two-player stop. Solar Guardian in, and Jenkins, he's in trouble. He puts himself under with a Cold's Embrace, but it's not going to be enough. All the Tusk goes down, and Jenkins eventually going to fall. There you go. Shards were stolen by the Rubik, used right there to the favor of DogChamp. They lost Dawnbreaker, but a support, not the biggest deal. Another great two-player stop from Italiano Gangster. The Fade Bolt used as well, but now the Rupture's applied. And Centaur will fall. However, they go in on a Bloodseeker and they burst him down. So, dare I say, a one fight for DogChamp, our first one of the game.
Yeah, they got a great fight there. I think a lot of that comes down to that Fart SJ didn't TP to the fight, even though they committed TPing the Brood over there. If Brood decides, I'm joining, this is an important fight, I'm surprised that you don't join with the Bloodseeker as well. Granted, he wanted to finish his BKB, he wanted to farm, but that was a big team fight that he came into way too late there on Bloodseeker and gets caught out. Very well played by Italiano Gangsta there. The multi-hero stunts definitely served his team well. Even though he went down in the end on Centaur, he did his job and then some.
All right, so especially with that one fight from DogChamp as Rubik, who barely makes it out. Let's take a look at those odds, esportsbet.io, the watch turn platform, and see where they stand currently. Maybe, or maybe a little bit. We'll get those eventually here, but again, check it out for yourselves on the site to allow those odds. I got to think they're favoring Fart Studios right now in this game, of course, but again, with that one fight, and that kind of does bring this opening for DogChamp to make more of a much more realistic comeback now, especially with the Morphling impact.
Yeah, the lead that they have isn't something insane anymore, even though they were, 18 kills to 2 or something. They're only 5,000 gold ahead now. I say only, that's still quite a chunk, but they have to be mindful. If they lose one more big fight, then that could be the game completely equalized. So they need to make sure that if they take fights, they need all the cores to be ready for those fights.
Yeah. Tusk roaming around. I'm noticing he's got that Desolator now to go with the Falcon Blade. Has a Blink queued up as well, so Tusk looking pretty beefy.
They want a Roche.
We're just seeing.
Yeah, they can sneak it. It was
Gotta get with that Deso.
Actually, no, this ward doesn't have vision all the way over there, so they didn't really see them. I think they are aware though, but not much that Dog can do, so they're just maximizing their farm on the side lanes and pushing as much as they can. But this is gonna be Aegis going over the side of Tusk, I guess? Yeah, Tusk is gonna take it.
Huh. Okay. Gonna say who do you give that one to, but there you go. It is gonna be Tusk.
Yeah, he's the best option, because once he gets the Blink Dagger especially, he will be able to just dive in with that Deso. Giant gonna reveal the smoke here. Perhaps intended,
it's a good
but either way, not the best outcome for them there. And godlike spree on Nusham right now. 9-0-13.
Yeah, that B-God Hoodwink performance certainly stands out from earlier in this division too. Nusham giving him a run for his money, arguably better. I mean, obviously there's still plenty of game left, but yeah, he's we're seeing the Ethereal Blade queued up, and again, he's already doing plenty of burst damage. You throw that in there, he literally can solo kill nearly any hero in the game. But bottom lane,
Fart SJ gets caught out, gets blinked on, gets stunned up, and the damage is there with the Dawn ulti as well. That's a costly death right there. He did have BKB, but didn't have time to react.
I don't know, like, Waka, am I wrong to say that? Yeah, I mean, you look at the chart right there, as the observer is showing us, it's so favoring Fart Studios, but I'm starting to feel like that this is starting to go DogChamp's way now.
It is slipping, and this comes down a lot to what I was saying about the carry as well. This Bloodseeker carry, top, diving onto Tusk now. Yuma having big impact.
Uh-oh. That's going to be an Aegis use. Yuma on the Morphling. He is feeling very good. There's a curse on a Pango. The Rolling Thunder about to wear off, though, and they just blow up the Tusk after he comes out of the Snowball. Speaking of Snowball, Rubik stole it and assisting for this kill on the Winter Wyvern as well. They're throwing up high fives, and we are basically nearly back to even net worth And that is great news for DogChamp.
Yeah, after that start, that's an incredible job to recover like this. But I also want to keep, reiterating on this, that Bloodseeker in this game, this felt like pretty much the freest game that you can ask for, right? Your offlane completely demolished. Mid lane was also a win. You have your mid laner solo killing the enemy mid laner, and your pos 4 is 9-0-13. And this is when you have to step up and be the carry and have the impact. He's now out-farmed by a Morphling that didn't even get to stay on his lane at level 3.
Yeah. And again, I don't think this is a BSJ. It's just the Bloodseeker it continues to be the theme. We were talking about this going into this very game as he was having that great start and has fallen off a bit. And he's going to be pinged out here, by the way. They did see him, but luckily for Fardas J, he's happening to be pathing away from them, so he's going to be fine. Top lane, that's just Dawnbreaker, but she is going to be killed, and successful one there for Far Studios. But I also looked at this Broodmother. Again, we praised Monkeys out of laning phase for very good reason. It's been a little bit since his impact has been felt, though. He is 6-0-12. He's got the Ags now, right? Like, this is... You expect a bit more to start happening from him.
I think they're going to try and fight around the Aghanim's webs more and more now. Might even use it to start securing areas and take over, like taking over the enemy Ancients is a very common play with the Aghanim Scepter, as it protects even against smoke rotations. They definitely need to find a place on the map and play on that very heavily to get the most benefit out of the Zags.
Mm-hmm. See him laying down those webs quite a bit, but a lot of avoiding happening right now. Pango pushing out the bottom lane, then quickly blinking away. You do see Pango, again, the diffusal blink, and he's going that Lotus Orb, which we saw yesterday, and the impact there by a team like DogChamp. They love this item, and they make great use of it, so I'm sure it's going to be no different here.
Yeah, this is an awesome game for it as well. You have stuff like the Snowball, Winter's Curse, the Rupture, some absolutely fantastic stuff, and even just dispelling against Broodmother using her E or the Orchid. So yeah, this is a nice item choice here.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Interesting noting that Dawnbreaker, who's harassing at the top lane, excuse me, it might be found. Oh, the Snowball. Unfortunately, not in time, so manages to get out. But yeah, she has full Guardian Greaves, and her farms, even slightly better than the Rubik. I don't know if that's good or bad, but overall, Bloody Nine's managing some decent farm for the team.
Yeah, he's getting some. He's been running around, split pushing quite a bit, and also killed some spiders here and there. His bottom tower was taken out right now. DogChamp are almost completely equalizing the net worth here.
top tower has fallen. Dire's bottom
Yeah, both teams attempting to push some objectives. It's just illusions left over, but that tier 3 bottom lane, I mean, look at it. It's already at half life. Finally, the illusions go down, but the tier 3 bottom tower in Fart Studios base is already at that half-life point. And again, for how this game started, it is still kind of crazy to think that that's where the game is at right now. But DogChamp playing this so well in terms of recovering. They're going to 4-player smoke around the Morphling.
They're playing it really well, but right now they're sitting for so long just waiting for something to happen mid lane, but it's just Monkeys forever sitting in his spiders one by one. Tower is down to 2 HP as he kept the catapult alive for so long using his spiderlings.
What is Bloodseeker? Where did he go? Okay, he's got a Gleipnir. Okay, so he does have a full Gleipnir finished as it gets delivered right there. And perhaps that's a cue also for now for Fart Studios where they wouldn't mind a fight happening, but that fight may be coming up soon. Stormbreaker. Well, she falls back.
Yeah, both teams are avoiding each other quite a bit right now. Some mutual respect going on. But mid tower should be easy to take out with just a little army. They're going to smoke into their own Ancients, though, on the side of Fart Studios. So they want to force the engagement here, trying to catch DogChamp overextended.
Radiant's middle tower has been denied.
Centaur with the Lotus Orb of his own, by the way, so that could come into play. But yeah, speaking of catching them, Yuma's found. A decent opening with the Walrus Punch. The Snowball stun as well. Hoodwink follow-up. No. Gets the waveform off. Is stunned over here, but away. Solar Guardian was activated. TP'd out as Morphling, and Bloody Nine's going to go for it as well. He might get caught. Okay, they're going to use a curse for this. Again, remind you, it's a support Dawnbreaker, though, so you're really not that disappointed if you're DogChamp, considering what could have been.
Yeah, they get something at least. They get a consolation kill. They also get some Deso charges for Tusk getting that kill. The game has really slowed down ever since he got his Desolator. There hasn't been that much action, but finally gets his second kill with it.
Well, what can you do?
What can you
Wagga,
do?
you brought this up earlier, by the way. I mean, both Hoodwink and Broodmother still have massive streaks going. More so Hoodwink, 10-0 and 14. But I'm not going to say that that's a bad thing, but it is one of those cases where if he does get killed now, then that's a lot of gold going the way for DogChamp, whoever does.
It is. There's a big bounty on his head, but he has that Blink Dagger, and he also has a gem, which he's been using to deward and control the map. I love the early gem pickup here. I think it's a really, really good addition. He didn't buy it, in fact. It was Jenkins. We should give cred for that, but he's the one running around with it, you know.
Bard SJ top lane. He's got backup kind of nearby, but the blow up, it's so fast. However, Snowball gets the BKB off. Will manage to survive. Morphling going to be kicked around. Sharpshooter was activated. Jenkins, no curse for 13 more seconds. Lotus Orb, Reflection, Gleipnir's out. Still in place, shifting over to that strength, pretty much maximum, and Monkeys will beat him down for the kill. Morphling's up for 70 with no buyback currently. The chase continues. Rubik, he's running. He had the insatiable hunger, not the best ability right there, but gonna keep running. Meanwhile, turn, the curse was used, but Tusk gonna be saved by the Wyvern. Cold Embrace win now, keeping him alive. Gleipnir coming out once again, the snowball in the face. Solar Guardian activate is still alive, finally goes down. So does the Bloodseeker, and even without the Morphling, DogChamp is winning this fight now. Nushan being chased, he's just dead. Tango clearly is able to do some good damage, and Centaur continuing to be that beast in the front lines.
Oh boy, they got the gem as well. That is some big financial damage going the way of Fart Studios, and with 3 of them dead now, I believe this is going to be the first time here that they're going to actually get the net worth lead soon on DogChamp. They played that fight really well. Despite losing the Morphling, they just combo exceptionally well around the Centaur and make the most happen during the chain stance.
There's so many things that continue to shock me this game, Wagga, that, again, from the way this started in the landing phase by Fire Studios was so good for them, to then the starting the comeback, to that Morphling being dead early on in the fight, and it doesn't matter still. They still win it 4 versus 5.
Yeah,
and DogChamp does reclaim the net worth lead.
That honestly is pretty ominous for the way this game is developing, because Morph is getting very, very strong here as it progresses. He has that Skadi now building towards the BKB as well, and if they lose fights when Morph is already taken down, and you know they didn't use all their cooldowns or something to kill him, so if they lose fights after Morphling gets pretty clean picked off, then that spells trouble here going later into the game. The Bloodseeker, I have to go back to it again. Soon he's going to have that Basher, but I just feel like this hero doesn't scale to become that hard carry, that reliable feeling. But at the same time, he hasn't been hyperactive in fighting either.
Yeah, so certainly a little bit of fault there, you could argue, but in the end, I mean, again, with Hoodwink dying, now it's Broodmother that still has the bounty on his head, and the Monkeys, Brood, I mean, still is top net worth by a fair amount, but it hasn't really been that impact from the coming out of the laning phase, even slightly after it. I will say a Scythe is being built, though, and that feels like, again, one of these items that certainly is going to have some high impact here.
Yeah, it's super nice. Once he completes that full Scythe on Broodmother, he's going to be able to maybe lock down the Morphling or the Pango before they manage to use their key abilities, and that could be definitely huge. I think now we see Fart Studios just go back to a little bit splitting up, letting the Broodmother play on her own, build up and farm. But DogChamp, though, they don't want to slow down the game. They want to make more stuff happen, so into Rush is cool.
Yeah, great scan, though, immediately. So DogChamp, it's not much of a secret anymore. It was a good attempt, smoke it in, but obviously spotted Fart Studios. Now the question is, how much do you commit to this? And yeah, DogChamp says, all right, you got us. Let's just fall back and let Roshan be for now. Let him regenerate a little bit. So Fart Studios still also in the area, but doesn't look like we're gonna have the Roshan yet. However, 5-player smoke, Italiano Gangster in the front lines. They're expecting maybe Fart to check it out and then they'll pounce, but nothing yet.
Yeah, but this is where the Brood Aghadems is really useful. Look at this. He's just getting continuous pings and reveals here on heroes even during smoke. He also has a, you know, this safeguard on mid. Oh, what? What is he doing there?
He's dead? He was by himself?
That was...
I mean, Yeah, no buyback, 70 seconds, and the team of Far Studios is almost panicked at this point, understandably. Jenkins trying to turn around for a curse, but he can't get it off. He's dead too, and it's really falling apart for Far Studios now because that should now help secure a Roshan to favor DogChamp.
I am shook that he showed himself there. Nobody was showing on the map on DogChamp for like a minute there, and even the Aghanims from Broodmother was revealing that there was a smoke happening. So I am so surprised that he was deciding to farm there. Super dangerous territory to farm, gets caught out, gets punished, and that's gonna cost you a Roche. This puts DogChamp in a fantastic spot.
You know, we were mentioning the odds earlier. A bit different now, I'm sure, and yeah, you see on the screen. Well, it is still favoring Fart Studios currently. I wonder how up to date that is, because especially after that last exchange right there, esportsbet.io, by the way, the watch streaming platform. Something tells me it's a bit different now, and it might get even better. DogChamp trying to catch the Tusk. He was able to get out, but now Monkeys gonna go back to that bounty. Is still on his head, but they're gonna turn attention elsewhere. Yuma, he morphs into the Tusk, by the way. Gonna use the shards. So a lot of shards being used between Rubik as well as the Morphling. And they end up taking out Wyvern and not going for objectives.
Yeah, this is quite the shards. Did he manage to throw 2 shards there? Because both of them were shard upgraded, no? Does he know something that I do not?
Rubik stole it as well.
Yeah,
so,
but weren't both those shards shard upgraded? And oh, it was the Morphling. I'm stupid. So yeah, Morphling has the shard upgrade too. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's why.
It's one of those things. Yeah, it's hard to register. Like, really, wait, what the hell is happening, right? When you have a Rubik and a Morphling doing the same target. Either way, this is going to be a free push mid lane for now. Obviously, with Wyvern coming up in 2 seconds, doesn't have a curse for 20 though.
Yeah, no Aegis on the Morphling, or no BP on Morphling, but he has that Aegis, so just gonna take down the tower and back out. Still have 3.5 minutes on that Aegis
Look
timer.
at bottom though. So Brood making busy at the bottom lane, making the best of that situation. Centaur ports back, however, Dawnbreaker gonna get caught for now. Gleipnir used Snowball in, and they will pick her off. You saw the rest of DogChamp thinking about assisting, but continuing to try to run away. The Stampede will be activated for this, and looks like the getaway for the rest of them is successful.
Yeah, nice and disengaged there for DogChamp. Losing the Dawnbreaker is not too painful for them, and now they can look towards even fighting as Fart Studios start splitting up a little bit here on the map.
So hanging around the Roshan pit, but of course not up. I mean, Morphling has Aegis for another 2.5 minutes. Also has a double damage rune though, which yeah, he just bottled up, so that's why they're in the area. And certainly DogChamp with Dawnbreaker coming up in 10 seconds. They are absolutely looking for a fight. And yeah, the Ags on Dawnbreaker, we mentioned the Guardian Greaves earlier. Now an Ags, this is technically a position 5. I think it's safe to say he is pretty damn farmed on that Dawn.
Looks like he wants to go for the Wraith Pact next as well. Could see him go for the Holy Locket as well. As a very nice upgrade when you have Greaves and Aghanims. I think Holy Locket would be even stronger, but getting the Wraith Pact would also be nice. Just lower a lot of the damage here. Every single core on the side of Dire are right-click based.
Oh no. Wyvern, his own teammate shards used against him to scout. Giant finds him, and Jenkins is like, you know what? Golf clap. Well played. You got me.
Yeah, and with him dead, Yuma with Aegis in hand feels safe to just go up and push here. Not even using the DD rune, still holding that 1.5 minute on the Aegis. You know this Morphling wants to fight right now. DD and Aegis, he is so ready. He's calling team, let's go high ground.
Guess it's my shout.
Yeah, I mean, still a minute 25. Like, there's still a lot of time on this Aegis, and exactly. At least he's going to go high ground. The rest of the team, not necessarily here, but you got a Rubik backing him up somewhat close.
Yeah, Pango is on the way somewhat. Morphling doesn't have to have a hard commit pushing high ground here as well. He's just backing out for now.
Yeah, says, all right, enough is enough. He knocks on the door a little bit, gets some damage in, but in the end, yeah, they'll just kind of retreat and take over the jungle. You are seeing tier 4 items drop, so this is that timing where farming up the jungle a bit is certainly pretty effective. Make sure you get all those tier 4 items.
And we're going to see the same sort of saving Centaur build that we saw yesterday. The Pipe, the Lincolns, the Lotus Orb. Italiano almost has the entire Lincoln Sphere here, and then he can spam that on Morphling. Morphling is a very nice hero to just spam Lotus and Lincolns on, because it is that sort of super hard carry. So you just steroid him up, protect him as much as you can, and he will get you that win.
Yeah, level 20s are being hit too. One that really stands out to me is, again, that Centaur, the minus 25 seconds on the Stampede cooldown. So we're only looking at a 75-second Stampede now. That's pretty good for such an impactful ability, especially if they use it aggressive, as we're going back to. But yeah, farming more of the jungle. Now it's Fart Studios' turn as well to get some of those tier 4 items. But that's a Daedalus finished on Morphling, and there's that Lincolns you were talking about finished on a Centaur. Granted, the Aegis was just reclaimed.
Yeah, they lose the Aegis, but they have no real stress to go high ground. They can if they want to.
Bloody bounty.
They are going to go for a smoke play.
Oh, Brood, dare I say it, the bounty's still on his head, and he is in trouble. In fact, he is dead. And look at that gold. 1,200, 1,300 gold or so for Yuma. Yikes.
Yeah. RCY just rolling around as well, scouting a little bit. Morphling now, pushing high ground.
What do? You can't stop this. It's the impossible task, it feels like, for Fart Studios right now. This Morphling has gotten to that point, but Tusk in the backline's going for the quick burst on the Rubik. No, yes, it is going to be enough for the kill, actually. Centaur not safe. Solar Guardian in. Dawnbreaker going a little deep for this. Has the curse, by the way, coming out. Was that? Oh, no, that was the Wyvern right there trying to save, but in the end, it's just too much damage happening. He goes down, and so does the Hoodwink. Are able to take out Dawnbreaker, but this Morphling and Pango are still feeling pretty good. They want to kill this Broodmother again, and they're going to kill him again. Monkeys is out for 100 seconds, and so are the supports for not as long, but long enough.
Yeah, that Lotus Orb, the Lotus Orb spam is just so rough. When you play Winter Wyvern, he managed to get an unlucky curse there.
Okay, that's what it was, yeah. Deflecting it. Unfortunate. And I mean, that's it. GGs are called, and DogChamp will take game number 1. Again, it's gonna be a fun one to kind of look back on, especially as we get in the panel segment here. But I mean, Fart Studios, they dominated the laning phase. They were looking so good up until 15 minutes or so.